This is a book that I have made for my oldest son, Nick, and his wife, Elizabeth. I've entitled it Family. Um, it's 8 by 8, and I have a stick pin here, paper flower that I made, did a little watercolor with some turquoise color on it, some perma, and a little paper rose. And my mother crocheted some flowers that are throughout the book as well. It's a brief family history for him. Um, did a little plate down here with the 4 surnames in it. Did some beading on it that dangle that match the stick pin. So here we go. This is the inside cover. This is a little book that I've done. In our family history, we've been lucky enough to go back about 7 generations or more in photographs. Unfortunately, in the photographic books that we have, the children were never named, just the adults. And so in this little book that I have made, I have entitled it The Children of Our Past. Made a little pocket here for it to slip into. A little book. Inside it says, these are pictures of the little children in the photo album that Joanne has that is marked with the Wygant name. Twins run in our family, and was lucky enough. Here's a little set of twin girls. And these are just the children of our past, and so I have put them each in here, and in different groupings, and ended with a picture of my father and his twin brother. And so that's that. So the first page is generational. I'm not going to read every one. Made a little lollipop flower. This is the next pages. Lucky enough to trace our roots back to the Civil War. This is a great-great-great-great-grandfather. Have a tag behind his picture. Tells of his Civil War service. He and his son entered the Civil War. His oldest son entered the Civil War together and served throughout for approximately 4 years. That goes back in there. This is him and his wife in later years. They celebrated 75 years of marriage. He was also, I don't know, an explorer needing more. He traveled to Nebraska and left his family for several years and started the Red Willow County in Nebraska. This is an autobiography that I have included. He is in a book called Famous Men of Nebraska, and he has a nice autobiography in there. Makes us all very proud. So I have that, just a simple clip. I have listed everyone with their name, the date they were married, the date they were born, and the date that they died. This is the next one. Brief history on them. This is my great-grandma and grandpa. I was lucky enough to know her in life. She died when I was about 8. Another paper flower, another crocheted flower, and some different buttons. This is a little pocket that I made to hold the tag. This again is my great-grandmother and her husband William. This is them later in life. I have done tags here telling about each of them. He died before I was born, but like I said, I was lucky enough to know my great-grandmother for a few years. I've identified her tag with a little stick pin, give her a little bling. Just some different buttons. The buttons come out of my grandmother's button tin on my mother's side. And then this is another flower that my mother crocheted. These are my great-grandmother's parents. They came over from Sweden. This is her family. She is from one of 12 children, and this is her here in the photograph, and one child is missing. Could not imagine having 12 children. They immigrated from Sweden. She was a toddler when they came across, and she was labeled on the ship's manifest as luggage. This is my grandparents on my father's side. These are all on my father's side of the family. This is a tag. Put a little poem about family from Irma Bombeck on here, along with a little bit of history on them. Take this little clip off. This is just a little book that opens up with some various pictures in it as well. And flip. Then I just slip the card into the top one. This is my mother's grandparents. They died early, I guess earlier in life. My grandmother dying my senior year in high school, so my children never had opportunity to know them. My children did have an opportunity to know my grandfather. He just passed away 5 years ago, and so my kids are older, and so they did have a small opportunity to know their great-grandfather, which I'm very grateful for. This then is my parents, my mother's graduation pictures, my dad when he was a toddler with his twin brother, and then again when he entered into the military, entered into the Navy. Once again, some perma flowers, some of the old buttons, crocheted flower my mom made. This is my parents on their wedding day when they got married right after my mother graduated from high school. This then are my in-laws. Don't have a lot on them, and still waiting for a little bit of information on their marriage date to add a tag in here. This is me and my husband. And did a paper flower, and once again buttons. And then this is just some various pictures. Here's my kids in a group with Elizabeth prior to their marriage, and then this is Nick and Elizabeth, leaving a little space in a pocket. Going to add some loose photographs in here, and the next book that I do for them will be the beginning of their new life together. So thanks for watching. I did a simple elastic clip around a button, and then bound it with some material, and this is the back. So very happy with the way that it turned out, and it's going to be for their Christmas. So thank you. Bye.